Welcome to Marvelous Marriage Moment, and we're going to talk about leaving and cleaving.
One of my favorite subjects.
A very important subject
Yes.
in the scripture. And it's actually something that has to happen for a marriage to thrive, right?
Yes.
So if we want to thrive, first we're going to leave and cleave.
Yeah, I left and cleft.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Steve, why don't you get us started off? How do we leave and cleave? What are some tangible things we can do to make sure that process happens?
Okay, here's a really simple tip for you. Get rid of any physical reminders of old relationships, especially romantic relationships. Now, in the old days, before everything was digital, it was pictures in a box, right? And so some of you who are a little bit older, you might have prom photos laying around and pictures of old relationships. You probably don't have a lot of those things, but you do have like that old sweatshirt that you took from a guy that you used to like. And your husband says, hey, what's up with the holy sweatshirt that you wear that says East but Judy, University on it? I didn't give that to you. And you're just like, oh, I don't know. It's just special to me. And the real truth is, that guy with the really great long hair that smelled so nice. Oh, he gave it to me. And you remember fondly those old things without the reasons that you broke up with him because he was a philandering fool who wasn't true to you. And that's why you dumped him, right?
Right.
And so you forget all that stuff, but you keep that little reminder. And if something starts to go wrong in your relationship with your husband, guess what you're going to do? You're going to hold on to that old relationship. Get rid of that thing. Throw it out. Burn it. All right? It's so comfortable. No, stop it.
Yeah, I had my old boyfriend from high school's football shirt.
Yep.
And that was one of those things that after we got married had to depart. And there was a little twinge when I had to throw it out, but it was the right thing to do.
You absolutely have to do that.
All right. So besides tangible things, the next thing to really be careful of is your social media. And social media is everywhere, but it's really easy to get into long distance friendships that can cause in the home problems. And for example, being friends on Facebook with your old boyfriend.
That's huge.
And actually one of my old boyfriends had friend requested me and I felt funny about it. I felt like I'd done something wrong even though I hadn't really initiated it. And he said, I've been looking at your stuff online, looking at your videos. And I remember I came to you and said, are you okay with this?
You asked me and I said, I'm not threatened by it. I don't.
Yeah. There's a reason I'm married to you and not to the other guy. But for our boys who were teenagers at the time, it was like nuclear war.
They were all over that. They were like, Mom, you can't do that.
They made it so he couldn't see me, I couldn't see him, because their little hearts saw that there was a danger that lay ahead. So be careful. Be careful of who you friend and how you're interacting on social media. You're a married person now.
Right. And if you're doing stuff like visiting Tinder and going to websites like that, go explain it someplace else that you're just there to look at pictures or read people's portfolios. That stuff's absolutely, you got to stop that. That danger.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's absolutely huge. All right. What's the final one?
Well, the final one is this: your allegiance needs to change. To leave and cleave, your allegiance now has to be with your spouse. And, we talked in the episode about in-laws about why you don't call your mom every day with all your marriage grievances.
Right.
But it isn't just parents. Sometimes it's our friends who come between the allegiance with our spouse. And so, one of the things that we both did with each other is there were a couple women that you were comfortable with me going to talk about issues in our marriage. But I checked ahead of time. Steve, is it okay with you if I talk with them?
Yeah.
It wasn't so much asking permission as it was being considerate and showing respect to you. And you've done the same with me with the guys, especially in the Navy, that you didn't just talk about what went on in our home in a way that could damage my testimony.
And an interesting dynamic of you and me is we're both the same but different. All right. You got along better with guys than girls.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that a fair thing?
Absolutely.
You had a lot of guy friends and very few girlfriends. I got along better with girls than guys. All right. That's a danger warning. You get married to each other. It's easy to say, well, but we were friends before we got married. It's no big deal. I love you. I'm married to you. Right. But you, out of respect to me and me out of love for you, I abandoned all those old relationships. Now, I wasn't mean about the way I did it, but hey, I'm married now. I can't really talk to you. I'm not going to call you up and, I'm not going to do that. But there's people that defend that adamantly. And they go, well, I should have those old relationships. And especially with Facebook and social media, it's easy to continue those relationships. Don't continue those relationships. Well, you have a new allegiance.
Yeah. One thing that we know for sure is Satan hates successful Christian marriages. And so if we give him a little open door, a little crack in the door, he's going to open it
There's
wide.
no reason I should ever have to talk to another woman other than you or my mother. Okay. I don't need to talk to another female about issues I'm having in a relationship with my wife. There's no reason to talk to another woman other than professionally.
Yes, right. Professionally,
That's about
you
it.
can, but you have to really evaluate what you're doing professionally.
Yes, you do. Okay.
Yeah.
So leaving and cleaving, the three tips are number one, get rid of reminders of old relationships, especially if they're physical ones. Throw out that flannel shirt, get rid of that old sweatshirt, right? Social media, warning, warning, warning. Stay off that stuff and don't be friending old relationships. And number three, you're now switching allegiances, and that's a serious thing. So take that very seriously and act on it, right? And no half measures there for sure, all right? So that's been your Marvelous Marriage Moment. I'm Dr. Steve.
And I'm Megan.
And remember, if you want more, go to the store. We have a wonderful series called Marriage Matters. It's an 8-week small group study. Go to the store, characterhealth.store, and you can read all about it there. We'll see you next time. Well, thanks for watching that clip on YouTube. Remember to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our weekly content. See you soon.